Hello, Taurus. So we are doing your reading for the next 2 weeks. My readings are general. They are for sun, moon, and rising. So if it doesn't resonate with you, check out your moon or rising video. Also, I'm just reading the energy, so feel free to reverse the roles as you need to. So yeah, let's get started, okay? So what messages do we have for Taurus for the next 2 weeks, universe, spirits, and guides? 5 shuffles. What messages do we have for Taurus? Three more. For the next 2 weeks. Three shuffles. So your situation, Taurus, we have the 10 of Swords, hidden strength and power available to you, the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Wow, when it comes to your love matters, we have the Devil. What you don't see coming, we have the Page of Cups. Career and work, we have the 7 of Cups, and advice from Spirit is the Moon. All right, so this is looking like a bit of a struggle here. You know, not in vain though, so that's all that matters, okay? So for your situation, we do have the 10 of Swords. Well, there's something here you're having a very, very difficult time coping with, okay? You could be recognizing an ending, or you're recognizing the need for something to end. But something is just, it may feel like something is not giving, like as much as maybe you don't want to be there, or as much as you're wanting some type of change. I feel like you yourself are having a hard time coping with everything that needs to change. You know, the 10 of Swords can be a very heavy energy where you can understand something's done, or you can understand someone is using you, or you can understand the betrayal in a situation. Like, you can understand so much, but just pulling yourself up now, it may feel a bit like you're cursed. The 10 of Swords can feel like you're cursed. You know, something has such a hold of your energy, you know. It's like you're having a hard time coping. You're having a hard time coping with the facts, with a situation. Why is the 10 of Swords here for Taurus? Three of Pentacles. The 7 of Swords. And the World. High Priestess at the bottom. Well, Taurus, I feel like there's some type of dynamic that you're involved in, whether that's, this is recognizing some type of dynamic, recognizing that someone is trying to be cooperative with you, recognizing someone's trying to be a team player with you even, but you're also simultaneously recognizing the deception or underhandedness. Now, there is some type of closure or cycle that has come to an end. There's some type of major life change that has brought some type of ending here between the two of you. But with the 7 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, some of you guys are driving yourself silly because you're still trying to play this game. You're still trying to cooperate, even though you yourself can't really be honest in that certain direction. Okay, this could even be a coworker that you're involved with that you're recognizing is lying to you, or you recognize that they're a snake a little bit. You're recognizing that someone is a snake here in a dynamic that you're involved with. And I feel like you recognize that, okay, I can't do this anymore. I just feel like you don't really know how to bring yourself to that place of not doing it anymore. And if you are still entangled, or you are still trying to work with this person, it may be making the ending a bit harder. because this is you trying to being a team player. but now it's kind of like tit for tat energy, or you're still involved in the situation to an extent, even if that subjects you to being in denial or not being honest, or even if that subjects you to someone else that isn't being honest or their underhandedness. So something here is definitely done, for sure. The World and the Ten of Swords is done. And if you are still in that Three of Pentacles energy where you're still trying to be a team player and whatever that is, this is you potentially trying to work with a snake, someone you know is a snake, a colleague you know is a snake. There's someone here you know is a snake. I think that's what bothers you, just leaving it be. And you yourself may feel like you need to be strategic for a period of time because there is something that's a major change. The world can be like a major life change. We're feeling the need to move. We're feeling the need to change where you're working or something like that. So having a hard time coping with whatever that is. Now, when it comes to your hidden strength and power available to you, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Four of Pentacles in reverse is not allowing yourself to hold on to deeper issues, not allowing yourself to be restricted with your own greed, with your own, like for example, if this is a relationship, being mindful about what you are desiring to hold on to and why you let that justify you in a situation that is taking more from you than anything. Like you may need to kind of let go of certain resources or let go of something that you may have perceived at one point in time to bring you a certain element of security or safety or financial wealth even. There may be something here you kind of need to like take some type of risk or recognize that something is taking more than it's giving, okay? And you may need to kind of shed a part of yourself that justifies holding on to whatever that is, okay? It's kind of like there's a joke. Was it Donald Trump? I'm pretty sure it was about Donald Trump. Now, I'm not talking politics. I don't give a shit. Okay? I don't even know what's going on, okay? But there used to be a joke about how if Donald Trump picked up a $50 bill, or it might have been someone else, that they would lose money, okay? The concept is there's something here you may be losing more than you're getting, even though you feel like, I need it though, I need it though, I need it though. So whatever that is for you, okay? Why is the Four of Pentacles in reverse for hidden strength and power available to Taurus? Like this could be you holding on to deep-rooted issues with family or with other people. And Tauruses, y'all can be fixed and stubborn, and I love that about you. But there's something that you may just need to let go because it's taking more from you than anything at this point. With the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of... Oh, we have three. All right, three right off the bat. Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Five of Wands. Yeah, so there's something here that you have been trying to be cautious about, or you've been cautious about making some type of decision about something that has been causing a lot of conflict. This could be family drama, or something pertaining to people trying to compete with you, or some type of conflicting situation that is very triggering. There's some type of truth that you are very clear on. You already know that that doesn't serve you. But you may have been trying to, you know, still develop something, even though you know people are trying to compete with you, or even though you know certain people aren't in agreement with you. You may have still been trying to develop something pertaining to something that will eventually get you some level of security or financial security, something. It almost feels like you may have been investing into something, feeling like I can break through this conflict. I can really break through to these people. I can break through to this person. I can break through. You may have felt like you could break through to someone where the two of you could have been a bit more agreeable, or where maybe they would compromise, but there's something here that is not budging. And you need to ask yourself, why bother at this point? Okay. Now, when it comes to your love life, we do have the Devil. All right, the Devil. The Devil talks about, you know, temptation, feeling like chained to a situation. I mean, I'm not going to read too much on that just yet. Tell me about the devil. Why is the devil here for Taurus's love life? There could be some level of obsession. With the Temperance, Four of Pentacles, yeah. And the Two of Swords. So this, your love life, this is stuck. Stuck, stuck. It couldn't be more stuck. Two of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, Temperance. You know, this is, the devil is saying that there's something here you or someone else is bonded to in a very oppressive and toxic way, because there's no actual decisions or logical conclusions coming out of anything. Like there's nothing is moving. The Two of Swords and the Four of Pentacles, this is like, well, I'm not leaving, you know what I mean? Or this is, I'm not budging. Or this could be someone that is also very possessive over you. This could be you possessive over someone else. I'm just going to read it one way. You can switch it up. But this could be like someone that is recognizing that the situation is very toxic, but there's still this obsession with the idea of the relationship or potential love in itself. Like feeling like I can make this work. Maybe I'm unhappy, but it's bringing me some sense of security. Four of Pentacles can speak on, you know, playing it safe as well. Playing it safe. Some of you feel trapped when it comes to love. Some of you, if you're not in a relationship, this is feeling bonded to someone's deep-rooted issues towards you that you feel like they just won't let go. Some of you feel like someone won't let go of their issues towards you, and it's kind of creating this stagnant energy where you may be trying to be patient and heal the situation, but it's really just causing you to be bonded to them. This is like being a slave just to someone's deep-rooted issues towards you. And you kind of have to ask yourself how long you're going to do that. So I feel like someone here has been trying to make rational decisions, but it's been causing things to be stale because nothing is moving forward. Nothing is moving forward because someone is holding on to deep-rooted issues, or someone is approaching the connection in a very greedy way where, I don't know, I can't talk, we're in retrograde, sorry. Someone may be approaching the situation in a very greedy way where they may be not letting you go, but also not giving anything into the situation. And it's very unfair. And I feel like if that's the person you're dealing with, you are in a space where you can start to acknowledge the contradictions within that type of energy in itself. Some of you have someone that's acknowledging the contradictions with you when it comes to, okay, apparently you want them, but you're not budging here. So there's something here not budging, and it's becoming very heavy, and it's becoming it's a stubborn type of energy where who's going to budge first. If this is a long-term relationship, this is the energy of holding on to it to play it safe, trying to make head over heart decisions, but it's just leaving things very stagnant on a personal level. For some of you, this is obsession. Someone's obsessing over you or vice versa, and the other person's not budging because they feel like it's unsafe because of some type of deep-rooted issues they have. So you kind of have to ask yourself, how long are you willing to hold on to that? Or vice versa, okay? Now, what you don't see coming, we do have the Page of Cups. I like that. That's a lighter energy. This is a lighter energy, a more optimistic, creative, communication, an apology. This could be communication from a child too, or this could be an apology coming in. I mean, tell me about the Page of Cups. Why is that Page of Cups what Taurus doesn't see coming? This could be some type of good news that kind of reinstates your hope or optimism. Five of Swords. The Eight of Cups. Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Pentacles. So there's been a situation, Taurus, where you have had a lot of mental conflict in regards to a child or an opportunity or a situation or a person. And there's been a lot of mental conflict where you may have been in like a defeat at all costs type of energy, because you may have felt like someone walked away, or someone was handling a situation very immaturely, or you may have felt abandoned here. There was a situation here that made you feel abandoned, or you felt like someone was avoiding issues, someone wasn't talking about something, someone wasn't being very transparent about a situation. And there's some type of there's something here where you just kind of like left it up to fate, like I'm not really sure. Oh, the Five of Pentacles came out too. Yeah, there was a situation here that had you feeling abandoned. Someone abandoned you, or they abandoned their responsibilities. Someone abandoned you. Now, even if this was a child, because for some of you this is a child, whoever this was that walked away, whoever this was that gave you no emotional reaction, no emotional response, they could have just went high and dry when it comes to communication. There could have been some financial concerns too, like, did you just use me for money, something like that. The reality is someone walked away here in the past because they were authentically trying to create some type of change in what they could offer you. Okay? Like, this is someone that is actively trying to change their own patterns, actively trying to secure something more stable for themselves, actively trying to find a job, actively trying to create something of value that they can offer you. And I'm not saying that they just did it for you, because this does seem very personal, very aware, very like, okay, I understand my own bullshit. Someone understood their own bullshit here. And they kind of went off and looked for a new job, or they seem to have overcome some type of financial adversity for themselves. It does feel financial, or it feels like this is someone that left or abandoned the situation because they authentically felt like there was nothing they could do. They authentically felt like, I have nothing to offer Taurus. Even if I love Taurus, or even if I feel bad that I have to walk away or whatever, they felt like they had nothing to offer you. And you may have felt kind of like conned a little bit, or you may have felt like you were the problem or something like that. It's caused a lot of mental conflict. And likely because there wasn't a whole lot of transparency there with the Five of Swords as to why. Why did they do it that way? They did authentically go off and create some type of change. Some of you, this is a child that may have ghosted you, okay, and you're hearing some type of good news, or something that reinstates your hope because something here is changing, okay? Some of you, this is a child paying you back, or it's a lover even. But if this is a love situation, this kind of feels like someone that went and made something of themselves, so they actually have something of value to offer you. It's giving me goosebumps a little bit. I don't know why they chose to be completely cold about it. Likely because that Five of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, that's someone that was going through some type of dark time. Okay? It was a very dark time where they really felt like they had not... When you go through the Five of Pentacles type of energy, you know what I mean. It's very hard to talk to people. You feel like you can't be transparent. You just feel pathetic. You know, they didn't want to feel pathetic. Someone didn't want to feel pathetic coming towards you. There's an element of change here where now they have something solid. They have something that they can offer you in a way of, this is what can happen now with us because this is what I've obtained. Some of you, it's a child paying you back. Some of you, this is a lover that is coming towards you with a solid offer. And it seems to be a nice, refreshing type of energy. Okay. Now, when it comes to your career and work, we have the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups, there can be some type of confusion going on in the workplace, or you're a bit overwhelmed, maybe overwhelmed with what to do, choices, maybe you're looking for jobs. I don't know, this is like exploring your options. I don't know, that could go a few different ways. Tell me about the Seven of Cups. Why is the Seven of Cups? Eight of Pentacles. Okay, nice. 10 of Wands. And the Knight of Swords. So there has been a period where you may have been working on your reputation or developing your skill, working on your craft, whatever that is for you. There's something here where you are showing up as qualified, able, and capable of making things happen. You may have felt like there was a period of time where you needed to really take on extra work, or there was something here really causing you to feel weighed down. Despite an understanding of feeling able, feeling qualified, having the skill, or having the ability to obtain skill, there is something here, Taurus, where you may have not have been completely in flow with what you had to offer. The Knight of Swords can, especially now that you're in the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Swords can be very abrupt, like not really in flow. And as much as they're very focused on recognizing where they can improve on themselves, they're also a bit irritable. And I feel like there was some type of irritability when it comes to your work because you already felt like you had a lot going on, and you were having a hard time making sense of, you know, how am I going to find a babysitter, or how am I going to do this when I'm already so weighed down? So even though there's an element here where you may have been developing your craft, or you've been working on yourself, or you've been recognizing where you can improve, there was also an opposed energy that came with that where it wasn't able to flow. Something wasn't able to flow. Okay. So I feel with the Seven of Cups, you're in a space where you're open to that flow, but I also still feel like there's some overwhelming energy when it comes to how to actually output that flow. You know, what job is actually going to suit you, or what changes you should make. There's still a bit of an overwhelming energy when it comes to your career and work sector. I would be mindful of getting lost. I'd be mindful of getting lost in imaginary conflict in the workplace, or emphasizing or amplifying conflict where it doesn't need to be, because it could just cause you to get off course or cause you to be weighed down in an unnecessary way. Okay. But I feel like there is your work and career, to be quite honest with you, it's still a little bit confusing. There's still an unclear energy here when it comes to where you should be outputting this energy, because you have the energy, you have the capability, you have something here developed within you, and you have the will to put in the work, to take responsibility, to do whatever you need to do to better yourself or work on your reputation even. But there's also this tense, energy that may be opposing your flow. I'm going to pull a card of advice specifically for your work, because that's a very confused energy. Not being sure how to address something. Not being sure what is the best thing for you. What, like, some of you, maybe you're talented in a lot of things and you're not really sure what the best thing is for you. Some of you are just weighed down with personal struggles where it's kind of trickling into your work life. But give me a card of advice specifically for Taurus's work and career. These wanted to come out. Five of Cups in reverse and the Five of Pentacles. So it's not time to let your emotions impact your financial stability. Okay. There's something here where it's a time and a place. There is something here where you may need to get out of your emotions a bit and make something happen. Make something happen. Because the Five of Pentacles can state that there's some type of adversity or financial hardship, job loss, or change. Even you yourself, for if it's you yourself that feels not good enough, this is you getting out of that. Why are you in that space? Why are you in that space? Why are you in that focusing on the negatives of yourself? Do not validate that. You do never validate, even as a joke, even little memes you see online, never validate that shit. Subconsciously that plays out in such a way where you're manifesting an energy of, universe, I don't even take myself seriously. Don't validate that. You are good enough, but there is something here, you're kind of, there's some type of hardship here that you may need to really get out of your feelings and get things done. 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles in reverse. So there is opportunity to receive some type of scattered results when it comes to money. Six of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles in reverse. This can be working a job that you don't really see a future in, but is kind of necessary for a period of time, or doing something you don't really think about in a long-term way, or it's not really something you're completely invested into, but you're doing it for a paycheck. So there may be something where, no, maybe you don't like your job for the next 2 weeks, or you don't like what you're doing, you're just not in that space because you're way down with life shit. There's something here where you may just need to do because it's going to bring in you some type of money, okay? And whatever this is that's causing you to be in your feelings, your advice is to kind of get out of your feelings. Your feelings aren't going to do anything when you're in the Five of Pentacles energy. Even when it comes to workplace conflict, why be worried about what your employees are saying or whatever? Like, they're not going to be a part of your future. But don't validate that negative self-talk of I'm not good enough, or try not to sink into that hardship. And the Five of Pentacles can be very difficult. Try not to sink into it. Try to do whatever you can to kind of overcome the hardship and what's in your control. Recognize what's in your control. Okay? Even if there's so much not out of your control, because the Five of Pentacles can be like something that's not in your control, whether that's a job loss or something changing, or feeling abandoned, feeling like you don't have support. Create your support. Be your biggest critic and your biggest cheerleader. Be your support. And that's all going to be fueled with your connection with God and your connection with your higher power and your connection with your highest self. You know, what does your highest self look like? And you need to show up as her or him without the feelings, because that's in the past. Okay? When it comes to your advice from Spirit, we do have the Moon. So the Moon can talk about needing to recognize where you're deceiving yourself, needing to recognize the dangers of getting lost in illusion, getting lost in fears, getting lost in the sauce. The Moon is a 12th house energy, and the 12th house is where we can get lost in, where we can become complacent, where we can become trapped, and we justify it with illusion or fears or anxieties, and having a hard time regaining our composure. There's something here where you need to recognize, where are you having a hard time regaining your composure? Where are you having a hard time moving on from, or closing out, or accepting that something isn't that way? Something may not even appear as you think. Like, the Moon card can be things that you may perceive a certain way, but is an inaccurate judgment. There's something here hidden. So the universe is basically calling you to kind of acknowledge where you're hiding from yourself. Where can you bring value? Where can you bring clarity? Where can you bring illumination? And if something is confusing you that bad, it's up to you to kind of take control and apply your own sun, apply your own masculine on that Moon, okay? Because nothing should leave you in that Moon space. Nothing should justify you getting lost in the sauce. Nothing should justify you subjecting yourself to things that cause you so much anxiety or fears. If there's colleagues or lovers that is creating this element of fear, it's like you may need to understand what subconscious energy you have that is making you feel like this isn't good for me. Sometimes people look for a specific reason. Oh, they're probably cheating on me, or they're probably this. Maybe you just don't want to be there. And maybe your intuition is right, but the problem is there's something here where instead of focusing on the negatives, focus on maybe what it's called, the universe is calling onto you, like how you can apply yourself in a way to alleviate that anxiety, alleviate those fears. Okay, tell me about the Moon. Why is the Moon Taurus's advice? Strength in reverse. Okay, fear. Some of you guys are fearing being single, or just fearing being on your own. 9 of Pentacles. You need to recognize whatever is causing you to feel inadequate in a certain direction, or feeling a lack of self-worth, a lack of security, whatever is causing you to feel some level of fear. There needs to be exploration when it comes to your dream space, and there needs to be some type of it's almost like there's something here that's causing some type of fear, but it's also highlighting a vulnerability you have. And you may need to really hone in on what you can do to bring your own sense of security, bring your own sense of self-worth, you know, doing something completely free from the noise or how other people view you, like doing something because you know you're worth it. 9 of Pentacles. Some of you guys are simply fearing being single, and you may need to recognize that that's a you problem. And the Moon card can be someone that's lost in, okay, I would make this relationship work, but I don't trust them. Okay, how long are you going to not trust someone? There's something here where your subconscious is screaming at you like, why are you even here? You know, or why are you subjecting yourself to this feeling time and time and again when it's just getting you lost in the sauce? When you could have freedom, you could have security, you could have financial independence. But the 9 of Pentacles can't be the 9 of Pentacles without believing she deserves it. Believing she can make those decisions, believing she can put herself, you know, be financially independent. Something here is weighing on your vulnerability big time. But you don't believe it's possible for you. And it's like, it's kind of manifesting into projecting onto other people when it's not necessary. You're just draining yourself. Give me an oracle for Taurus. What oracle message do you have for Taurus? We do have volunteer, leaving, spiritual growth. Gemini got those too. Oops, these cards are so hard to shuffle. So there may be something that you yourself need to take it upon yourself, like volunteer yourself to leave or to do something differently. One more. Sobriety. So some of you, it's like there's some type of sobered reality, or you need to take it upon yourself to be sober from certain situations, or take a sobered reality as the reality. You know, and you may need to be the one to kind of volunteer to leave, or volunteer to take it as a lesson. Volunteer to say, I know why I went through this. I went through this so it could teach me this. You know what I mean? Looking at your enemies as people that are actually a part of your journey, not someone you need to oppose. You rise above it by learning the lesson. That's how you rise above it. You don't need to hold grudges. You just rise above, you learned. It's like done. You know? So, but you may need to take it upon yourself to be the one to initiate that action. You don't have to directly say anything. It's just an awareness. It's an understanding. So I hope this helped you, Taurus. I love you and all the best.